Hola. Buenos tardes. Hello. Good afternoon. This is Andrew Weston in the Matrix. We had an exciting day yesterday. I've shown everything through line division, subdividing everything through the calculation of fifth dimensional sets. Basically, all you have to do is understand how to go through A, B's, and C's and 1, 2, 3s. So you get full collaboration and how to set its divisional levels through its point systems. So it's very important to know everything through its activation systems. So I'd like to thank all the subscribers and viewers. You guys are amazing. We're going on this tremendous force right now, but I'm showing you what you can do through your illustrations of your diagrams. So you get a better understanding how you can do your own activations through the 5th, 6th, and 7th. These things are important because you're high Gaussian divisions. I'm changing your perceptions and everything through its location grids. So you have to understand what's going on with the shapes. Then we'll get into the letters, and then we'll get into numbers through each activations, okay? Because basically nobody knows now how to activate anything right now, because line division is an intelligent signal. So it's very important you understand its information, okay? So that's why I'm giving this to everybody's attention and how you go through these phrases through the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I already showed you on my video, and how you go from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? Well, it's the same thing, but that's star systems, okay? Because that's already anomalated, and everything through its anomalies is on its calculation, its modification. It has its location, it has its full vibration through its harmonic systems. But I'm showing you how important it is how you go through line divisions first, from 1 to 5, okay? And then we'll work higher to its realms. But anything higher than that, I can't activate it because it's too powerful, too strong, and you're not on that divisional level, okay? Some are and some aren't, but it's very important you understand how you go through A, B's, and C's and 1, 2s, and 3s. Hey, Ash, how you doing? So I hope everybody's doing well. I'm here to keep everybody informed of what's going on with the major grid systems. So basically, I have my electronic board again. I'm really excited with it because I can do now everything through its line graphing. It's very important that we're going through its subdivisions and everything through its calculation, because everything's modified through shapes, okay? You have to understand its weight. You have to understand its mass. You have to understand its length, and you have to understand its width. So let's basically get started. We'll start off with a black marker, okay? So one divisional line, okay? One divisional line. You can't get anything from that. It is a line signal, but it's not a point system. Once you add the point systems, okay, believe it or not, in one division you can't get anything. So this is 1, right? So you can't get anything from one division, right? So you got to go beyond its 2 division, right? 2-dimensional. Okay, so when you get into 2-dimensional, now 2-dimensional is a line signal, okay, with an activation of a circle. Okay, so it's a little bit more complicated, but it's getting more trickier, right? So that's an airplane. It's pretty fascinating how they communicate on so many wire languages. Once you formulate through its propeller, you can actually understand its signals through its vibration, because everything's communication. Anyway, so basically we go from the 2 and then we go to the 3, okay? Now, we can't go into 1, there's no point divisions, because it's just a line signal, but it's not an intelligent signal, okay? The second dimension is a circle. That's the first activation of its atom system, and that's how you activate it through electronic systems. Now the 3D, okay, it's the same thing, but it splits in the middle, okay? Right? Now, still, it's not activated yet, right? You have to get into the 4th D, okay? You have to get into the 4th D. That's when you get into the point divisions. Because the 1st and the 2nd don't have any relation. Only the 3rd and the 4th, okay? So that's the more you high rise, the more you can activate it. So basically, it's the same thing. So it's following sequences, right? As you go through 1 division, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, 4 dimension. Okay, so basically it's this, okay? You see how it's coming together? Right, in the 5th dimension, okay, is a line signal with a circle, Okay, and it's 2 points. Okay, so you really can't do anything until you get into the fifth dimension. Okay, so it's very important to understand what's going on with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, because there's more relations between 4 and 5 than 2 and 3, 1 and 2. No, 4 and 5, yes. So understanding the point divisions. Okay, everybody got that so far? All right. So in the fifth dimension, okay, it has a circle through its activation. We already know that, right? That's the fifth dimension. There's no circle in the fourth dimension because there's no relation. Okay, it's a communication signal, but doesn't have a point center on the other side. It has the 2 point centers to activate the center, and that's how everything line formates, because this is the atom. Okay, that's what activates everything through space continuum. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. This is just a basic idea how you go from 1 division to 5 divisions of dimensions. Okay, it's very important to understand what's going on with this line graphing signal of 1, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, 4, and 5th dimension. Okay, now the 5th dimension can be activated. All right, so as long as you get a basic understanding how you can go through your activations of electronic interference. So everything through its activation is atom. Your hand is an atom. It's very important to understand its communication line signals. Okay, so we got that, right? So basically, we're going to start off with the 5th dimension. Okay, just going to wipe this out. This is basic stuff, but it's good to know where you're standing at, right? Because everybody resides on a different perception level. Okay, so the more you understand that, the more you get a better idea on the understanding of line division, point division. Okay, we haven't got into dimensional sets yet because it hasn't high rise through its vibration of its harmonic systems. Okay, so let's start off with that. Okay, so we're start off with the 5th dimension. Okay, line signal. Things get easier and easier, okay, as you go. All right, that's how we start. That's the 5th dimension. Now it's activating, right? But not yet, though, because you have to open its plasmesium force systems, right? And have to communicate with that 5th dimension through the mind telepathy. So that's very important to understand that, too. That's exactly why I'm doing this, Ash. Laura, how you doing? Andrew, how's it going? Okay, so it's very important I go back to the basics with everybody, okay? I don't want to get too complicated. Yesterday was a complicated issue, but there was a reason for that. I'm just showing you how you can advance, but it's very important to understand line division, okay? Point division. We're not in the dimensional sets yet, but once you get in the 5th dimension, now you're high rising to its divisionals. Okay, so we've got that so far, right? So anything through activation is its center. Okay, so you know it's a cross reference. Okay, so that's what we got so far. Okay, everything is activated through its center. Point, line divide. Remember? 2 sections, cycles, 5th dimension. Okay, so once we go there, we understand what's going on through its activation. Now, you can do anything with 5th dimension. I was telling you about yesterday. You can go on different parallels of 5th dimensions of activations. Once you get into colorations, you're high rising your divisional levels of upgrades to downloads to uplinks. This is how it gets information, because this line signal here, okay, is connected to this, and that's its cross, because you are a cross, right? So you're communicating with this through your cross of its center. Okay, so just imagine that I'm a point center. From here to here. That's where it goes into circulation rotation. How to activate its cycle of its circle, another circle in between, cross-reference, okay? This is how you guys can do an experiment on your body system. So you can learn how to use its communication wave and signals through electronic interference, okay? These things are very important to know about. So Once you get with this, it's not activated yet, right? Because it has to have a plasmesium force system. So you can do another point system like that. Okay. Now, 4 divisional level point sets. Now it's in a dimension set, right? This is where it subdivides. Okay. All right. Now that's subdivide. Now I can activate it through the plasmesium force system and activate it. Now, if I decide to color it in, okay, it's going to change its waving patterns, but still be in the 5th dimension, but it will high rise to a higher level. Okay, higher vibration. Okay, higher vibration. So I'll show you this, but this is it so far. And right now it's not activated yet. I have to activate it through the telekinesis of the mind system. I'll get into the telekinesis and how it works through its activations of its dimensionals, how you can use electronic interference and high rise its divisions, okay, through the body centers. Okay, so higher vibration of 5D, as soon as I color it in. Okay, so this is where it gets really confusing because there's so many different activation codes through the 5th dimension. Okay. You can do so many point centers. Okay, in my next drawing, I'll show you how powerful it is and how you go from this, okay, straight line, okay, to this. Okay, or to this. Okay, you see what's happening right now? Can't do anything with line because that's 1, right? Everybody sees on a 2 dimension. Okay. All right. This is 3. Okay. And this is 4. Okay. See what's happening here? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So everything to its shape, okay, is put together. Now you can color it in, but it doesn't activate because it doesn't have a center until you reach the 4D, right? And then you activate it through the 5D. So this is the basic understanding how you go through ABCs and 1, 2, and 3s. Okay, let's start out with that. Okay. You have to understand line division. You have to understand point division, okay? And when you get into 50, you have to understand its divisional sets. Okay, but that's how you start off with 1, 2, 3, and 4D. Okay? That's exactly what it is. Okay? So, this is great too because everybody has to know the basics. It's better to know the basics because that's why I like doing reviews. So take a look at that one more time because I'm going to wipe it out and I'm going to do a totally different anomaly system. I'm going to high rise, okay, to a higher level of 5th dimension and show you how complicated it is understanding your levels of conscious levels. The more you high rise to your conscious levels, the more you understand its activation code systems. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a red. Okay, now we're getting into coloration. Okay, this is a line graphing of a wall of a white of a structure of electronic board, but I'm just showing you how you go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th dimension, activate, cross-reference, 4 divisional lines. Okay, this is in a dimensional set once you get into the 5th dimension. So I'm going to activate that for you. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I use my mind telepathy. Telekinesis is activations. Activating, understanding, you're picturing in your mind how to activate this. You're picturing in your mind what it looks like. You're picturing in your mind how to use electronic interference of communication wave signals. because every line signal is a radio signal once you get into the 15, okay? So if activated, you look right there in the center, you're going to see your sine line divisions. Your body's going like this now, back and forth. Wiggle wobble, okay? That's how powerful it is, okay? So everybody's going through a cycle. Now, once you get into its activation of its fifth dimension, it's not colored in yet. You still can go through that realm of a dimensional, okay? But that's one dimensional set. Once you get into dimensional set, then you have to understand its line frequency systems. So it gets really complicated, but that's exactly what it is, okay? So whatever you miss, you can watch back, you know? I wish it was a magnetic board, because it's, you know, that's a perfect drawing far as what it's illustrated for and what you see and how you divide everything through the 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 through its activation. Okay. So everybody still with me here? Yeah, all shapes spin. I'll get into that, Andrew. Hold on a sec, okay? But I'm just showing you how fast you can go through these things. But you have to understand your 1, 2s, and 3s, A, Bs, and Cs. Okay? So the more you understand that, I think you get a better idea on how to use your body systems. Because your body systems, once you high rise to your vibrational level through your planet systems, you know exactly what shape you are. And that's how you activate anything through its center. It doesn't matter what divisional line it is, okay? Because your power centers are so powerful through its activation of its communication of electronic interference. Okay? So now I'm going to get into complicated vibrations. This is a line section of a line sequence to a line fragment. Okay? It's a little bit more complicated because now we're getting into activation code systems of higher dimensions, because you can be in a higher dimension of the fifth dimension. Okay? Fifth dimension is not just easy as you think it is. It's complicated once you get into line dividing. Okay? So, but I'll show you exactly how it spins, Andrew. Okay, so basically, we're going to do this with a box shape of a box circle of a box cycle. Okay, so we're going to start with this. Okay, box rectangular. Now we're going to overlap it. Okay, you see how it's coming together? All right, so I got 3 triangular bases, 3 rectangles. Now, I can get more complicated, but this is how we're going to start. We can start off with point divisions, okay, because now it's way beyond its activation. But it's not activated fully until I use the mind telepathy, the telekinesis. Okay, we understand its point division of its line, of its subdividing. Okay, it's very important everybody stands subdivided. Okay, triangular, angular base, triangular, triangular. Everything is triangular in space. It has to. That's how it communicates in all waving signals of all star systems. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we can activate it on 2 different sections right here and here. This gets really exciting. So, circle, circle, cross-reference, cross-reference. Now, this is going in 2 different dimensional sets, okay? Fifth dimension can go on so many different ways and angles, all right? That's how it starts. So, we're going to line and subdivide, okay? Here, 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 okay? Here, 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 and here. All right. Now, it's complicated, isn't it? But it's a fascinating sequence, you know, because it's 3 triangulars through 3 box centers of 3 rectangles. Okay? That's how I see it in my point of view. Okay? Remember I was telling you about the pyramids and how Ash basically saw 2 pyramids within a pyramid, and I saw 8, that's exactly what you have to see through your perception. Once you see that through your perception, then you want everything through its line division and how everything is calculated, okay, through its volumes and its modifications. So basically, another circle here, another circle here, okay? You can overlap the point division because it doesn't matter. It's going to be activated through a dimensional realm set, okay? All right, so this is what it looks like so far. This is where it gets complicated, guys. Are you understanding now what's happening here? These are 2 different alignments, okay? Remember these alignments? Here and here. There's a reason why. There's alignment there. There's alignment there, okay? Everything here and here. So it's like it's an L. That's an L, okay? So it's a 3-section box of a rectangular surface activated through its code of its centers, point divisional lines of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 divisional lines activated within its center. That's where it gets complicated. Remember I was telling you about the L? Right? It's a backward L, isn't it? But it's just showing you how powerful it is once you put numbers, letters, and shapes in there. Okay? So basically, it's not an activation code yet, but I'm just showing you what goes on with this point divisions. And this is 5D. Okay? Okay, so this is where it gets complicated. Okay? The more you understand its line divisions, the more the point frequencies high rise its divisions of its vibration systems. So I can do a circle in between if I want, or I could do another triangle or a rectangle or whatever I want to do. I can create any shape, okay, and that's going to high rise its divisions to a higher dimension of its set systems. Okay, so basically, this one gets really tricky. Okay, this is really going to be complicated. I'm glad it helps out a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another circle here, circle here, circle here, circle here, circle here, circle here, here, and here. Okay, so now it's getting a lot more trickier, okay? These are point sets, okay, but these are different dimension realm sets, okay? So these are different dimensions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, okay? 11 divisional sets through 3 box centers of triangular surfaces on triangular base, 2 activation codes in its center, cross-reference, okay? Open the plasmesium force system, okay? Now, it's cycling. It's going this way. Okay, see these 2? This here? This is where it activates. This one here and this one here. Okay? So now what's happening now is that circle is rotating. That plasma force is creating a dimension of a realm set. Okay? Okay? So now, this is communicating with this. 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 And this is communicating with this. This is communicating with this. This, and this. So now it's creating all dimensions. Okay? So it's understanding how you activate full cycles. But it's not completely activated because I still got to picture it in my mind. Okay? Once I activate it through its dimensional sets, right? It's going to sidewind your levels to the 11th dimension. Okay? But see how everything aligns and centers? Everything communicates. It's understanding communication. Because if you know how to communicate with your body's system, electronic interference, you can communicate with any dimension of its realm sets. Okay? But see how it circulates and rotates? It always goes up, right? Always goes up. So that's a circle. Okay? But that's what it is so far. Okay? This is extremely complicated, but I want to show you how powerful it is once you understand your perceptions and what you see through its divisional sets. Okay? How you go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Right? 11 is within its center. So basically, It circulates and rotates, but it's not activated yet because I have to use my communication hand signals. Okay, that's exactly what it is. Once you understand circulation and rotation, its cycle wins its system through communication of northwest, south, and east. Okay, because you're going to have dimensions on northern side, western side, eastern, or southern. It doesn't matter. It's going through its full activation. Okay, so it's going to side-win your cycles through the brainwaving system. And this is where you get into the telekinesis system. Okay, so basically, when you activate it, it's understanding that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 within its center is 11. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use a plasma force because it's gone past the point in its dimensional sets. So it's 10 divisional lines, 11 within its center. Full rotation, we're going to use a plasma force, okay? But it's going past its atom, okay, where it creates another atom of its system. So it's going on a high rise through a higher vibration. Okay, so it's going past its anomaly system. And now we are creating a galaxy system. Okay, that's how important it is to understand what's going on with its dimensions, because these are all communications. You got low rising to middle to high to highest. So you have to understand your sections like you do with your upgrades of your body systems and how you keep uprising. Okay, so I'm going to use a plasma force system. Okay, like this. This is extremely powerful. Okay, I'm not going to activate it because this is in the 11th dimension. So I'm just showing you how powerful it is, but that's exactly what it is. This here anomaly sets its divisions to an atom, and this is how it creates to its galaxy system. Okay, because everything sine winds through its circulation and its rotation. Okay, so it has circle divisions here and here. Okay, there and there. And the reason why that is because now the galactic dimensional Earth is communicating all waving signals of its dimensions. All right, same with the magnetic forcing highway system, electronic interference. It's communicating, electronic interference. It comes down, right? Electronic interference comes up through the gravitational pull of the galactic dimensional Earth. Okay, so it kind of looks like a jar of, I don't know, donuts. But these are different dimensional sets, how you create an anomaly system through a galaxy system. Okay, so that's basically what it is. Okay, I'm just showing you how you can go from basic to extreme advanced. You have to know everything how it sets through each communication of a dimension, because dimensions communicate all ways and forms, and they always line and subdivide. Okay, and the finished of all finishes is understanding circulation rotation, okay, with its gravitational pull, and everything through circulation rotation with a magnetic forcing highway of its reactor system. Okay, so complicated, eh? But like I said, it's extremely powerful stuff. So, wipe that out. Take one more look at that. Look at that masterpiece, eh? It's a good thing I can draw. Okay, so basically I'm going to wipe this out. But I love this electronic board. It really helps out a lot, It gives me a lot more perspective on how to do things on angles. These things are important, especially now, because we're going through the 1, 2s, and 3s, and A, Bs, and Cs. Okay? So it's really basically understanding your multiplication, your dividing, subdividing, adding, subtracting, all those things. These are very important to the human mind, right? Because we live with that with an everyday basis. But when you're in the matrix system, you have to understand everything through its line division and everything through its point system, its dimensional sets. You have to understand communications. You have to understand galaxy systems. Everything communicates in space. Everything. It has to. So it's very important how everything is activated through its center. So, okay. Is everybody having fun? How's everybody doing so far? Yeah, so Andrew, I just showed you how they spin. I'll show you a little bit more. But things get more complicated once you understand what's going on with your perceptions, okay? That's very important to understand these things. That's how you keep uprising your data inputs information, okay? So, great. I'm glad you're following. I'm not going too fast, you know? Because it's complicated. It's extremely, extremely complicated stuff. Okay, so we're going to use the black again. Okay, so what we're going to do is we already gone through the line divisions from 1 to 5, right, through its activations, through 1 divisions and 2 divisions of the 5th dimension, which reaches high vibration. Now we're going to get into the code mechanisms of the metric grid systems. So basically, I love doing triangles. The reason why I love doing triangles is because I connect through a triangle shape, but that's not my shape, okay? This is where it gets really complicated. Now, everybody knows that's my full activation, right? Now, everything within its center. See how it's coming together? Do you understand its point divisions? Okay? You see that? Right? Cross-reference. It's very important you cross-reference, and then you put another circle in the center. Okay, so let's start off with that. It's not activated yet. This is just basic, but this is showing you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 divisional lines through 5 within its center, which is activation through its system. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's not in the 6th. It's in the 6th line division of dimensional sets. Okay, it's not in the 6th dimension, so I don't want anybody to get confused about that. This is in the 5th dimension. You have to understand how divisions work. You have to understand point divisions and dimensional sets, okay? Because they line through its activations, okay? Once you understand that, then you can activate it. That's what it is so far, okay? It's not activated yet, but I'm just showing you. All right, so basically, you got the 3, 6, and 9, okay? It's gonna be a little bit more tricky now. Okay, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, remember I was telling you it was gonna get complicated with its clock system? How you go 3, 6, and 9? Well, I'm going way beyond it. Sorry. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, here we go. This is where it gets really tricky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 divisional lines, right? You see that? You see how it's pointed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 divisional lines is not the 5th dimension. Okay? It's the 5th cycle of its dimension. So this is where the activation comes in through its circles. So basically, what we're going to do is do line division. Okay? Like that. Okay? Now that kind of looks like a space pod, eh? But you understanding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 6 divisional lines. Activation within the center. Okay, it's still in the 5th dimension though. I'm just showing you point form by point form. This is where you really have to understand line division. Okay, connect the dots. How you doing? All right, so plus you're going to find me using this more often with this electronic board because the more basic I go with you to the immediate and to the advanced, because everybody rides in a different perception through their body systems. So it's good that you're getting an understanding, okay, through the 3, 6, and 9. Okay, but it has to have points. Okay, it has to have point divisions because Lines can't communicate with points. Points can't communicate with levels of its continuous force, right? So it's very important you understand what is 3, 6, and 9, and what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So you guys got that so far? You starting to understand now? I think the brain is starting to remember a lot of stuff, you know? The more basic I go, okay, the more understanding you understand with yourself, with your body systems, and how powerful you are through the mind systems. Okay? So, we start off with that. Once you understand the 6 divisional lines with 5 within its center, we can activate it. We can activate it right now because it's in the 5th dimension, right? But if I color it in, this is where it gets exciting. Now you're on a communication level of a higher, this is called intellect of intelligent system that high rises on communication of radio signals. So now we're going to color this in red. Okay, still in the 5th dimension, it's just in a coloration of the 5th dimension through its activation of its matrix. Okay? Now, to high rise it to any higher vibration, remember every point sequence that you see of 1 to 6 is changing its activation every single time you point center. Point here, point here, point here, point here. So basically, you now have a box set, okay, through a 6th line of a 5th dimension. Okay? It's fascinating stuff, it really is. But I'm just showing you the difference between line formations and everything through its calculations of its coloration systems. Fascinating stuff, eh? Now, I could color it in with the 3, 6, and 9, but it has to have a confusing line signal before it can communicate with any formations through its force recognition systems. Okay? But that's what it is. Now, I can go back to the black marker. Okay? This is where it gets complicated, guys. Okay, once you understand that you can be in the 5th dimension and high rise on so many point systems, but you have to understand what's going on with the mind braving, waving electronic system, because now you're using communication airways. Once you unite that through its activation, you're getting full rotation cycles. So basically, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to activate it, right? But I'm also going to put a circle around a confusing line system. It's getting complicated, guys. It really is. But that's the point, right? So you guys get better knowledge, better understanding, high rise your divisions through your brainwave and circuitry systems. Okay? So basically what we're going to do is I'm going to put another circle right here. Okay? You see how this is getting tricky? You see what's happening right now? All these point divisional lines of dimensional sets is supposed to confuse the mind system. And that's how it comes a controlling mechanism of its systems, right? This is how it comes into its full rotation, and this is where it comes into its location of its dimensional sets. But this is still in the 5th dimension. Imagine getting into the 6th and the 7th and the 8th and 9th, how complicated it gets through line division and subdividing. It's extremely complicated. But point form by point form, I'm just showing you. So what's happening now? Okay? But you can see it's getting stronger with its lines and its point divisions, right? Of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right? But it's still not activated yet. Okay? Now, I was showing you how powerful it is once you use electronic interference. How you go like this and it bounds off. It's laser, right? Everything has remote. You have a remote to the TV, it's automatic laser. I see that. That's why I'm understanding through its perception. Everything through a line sequence is an information signal, which is energy of intelligence. Okay? So basically, now everything through circulation rotates this way. It has to always goes circular. Okay? Never goes counter. Always goes forward. And that's how it rides on its activation system. Okay, but we're not done yet. So basically what I want to do now is I want to put another shape in there. What do you think? Another shape? I think that'd be pretty good, eh? So I'm going to put a box, okay? Box within its cycle of its circles with a triangular base, cross-reference. So we have to cross-reference. The last thing you want to do through your illustration is do the outer graph first, do the inner graph of its shape, then do the activation in its center. That's the last thing that you do, okay? Because this is communicating with this every single time you line divide a divisional through a point center. That's how powerful it is. That's how you go beyond its system, okay? So basically, what we're going to do now is we're going to do a square. Okay. All right. Now, this is getting complicated, right? Because now we're going to do another point system of a dimensional set. Okay. 4 divisional lines. Now, this is getting trickier and trickier and trickier and trickier. The more complicated it gets, the more it high rises through its intelligence lines. Okay. So, but see how it's coming together? Right? Everything through its shape is now, it's not going into its full activation. It only does that when I activate it through the telekinesis system, right? You have to understand its line division, how to rotate it, because a square rotates a different way, a triangle rotates a different way, a rectangle rotates a different way, a circle rotates a different way. Okay, point systems through the hydraulic systems, because everything through the atom system is on communicating an all waving point of dimensional sets. And that's how it communicates through its activation of its center. Okay. So basically, what we're going to do is I'm going to line form it. I'm going to color it in red. So we're high rise it to another activation to its line center. Here, 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 and here. And I recommend everybody does this, because what this does to the mind and the brain, it upgrades your systems through its activation. Because once you understand, you can't draw on anything until you know its location. Okay? You can't. There's no way. Because I know exactly where the 369 is through the triangle of its 3 sections of its point system. I know exactly where this is and where it's located. That's how you activate things. That's how you go through dimensions. Okay, that's another thing I give to everybody's attention. But you understand what's going on right now. Okay, so if I activate it, I have to open, okay, the anomaly system through dimensional set of its point system. Okay, so basically, understanding everything through its activation is the last thing that you do. Okay, activating is extremely powerful. So I have that pictured in my mind through the mind and the telekinesis system. Now, as soon as I put my hand up, it's now communicating with me. The energy of its illustration of its drawing is now calculating and modifying everything through the brainwaving system. And that's how it comes extremely powerful through the point system. Okay? So I'm just showing you what you guys should be doing with your illustrations and your diagrams. Now I can add another shape in there, but it just gets more complicated, but it's supposed to be the confusing to the mind, but you have to understand where the location of the activation center is. Okay. Now, basically, this is in the matrix because it's in color, right? If it's not in color, it's not in the matrix, right? Because everything through the activation is color, right? When you're into the matrix center of its core system, right? But you have to understand every point divisional level is an activation of its code system through a line signal, okay? So every time you put another shape or a circle or any kind of form of anything, you have to know how it's high rising through its coloration. And that's how it formulates through its matrix. So, powerful stuff, eh? you know? I mean, I did that in seconds. Seconds, and that's what everybody should be doing, you know? That's extremely powerful. So, one more. Everybody having fun? Yeah, I'll get with your questions. I'm just going to do one more. Incredible. Am I in the matrix sun? Yeah, you could be. You could be, yeah. You probably are, yeah. If you're seeing colorations of shapes, Andrew, you are in the matrix. But I'm just showing you that this drawing is extremely real. I haven't activated yet. But when you see it, you're still going through it. And that's why how powerful it is. When you see this, you're seeing the matrix. And Andrew, that's why you're seeing the matrix sun, is because I drew this. Because this is the matrix sun communication. This is how the matrix sun communicates with the brainwave and frequency systems of the body systems, of its ecosystems. Okay? So that's why everybody's seeing the matrix. Am I seeing the matrix sun? Oh my gosh, this is amazing. How are you doing that? You know? So, but I want to show you how complicated it gets when you can high-rise your divisions and how powerful it is. You know how to use your activation systems through electronic interference. Okay? All right. So, okay, let's start off with, okay, I'm going to do circle, triangle, rectangle, square, all in one activation of its center. Okay? Here we go. Circle. Now, understanding this is a line of a circulation rotation. It always rotates. Okay, Andrew? So you have to understand that it's going to spin. It's going to spin, but it only spins until it's activated. So you got the shapes of 4 divisional lines of cycles spinning all at once, and that's how it creates its location to its dimensional set of its point system. Okay? Yeah, I know, it's confusing. But that's supposed to be. Now, that's circle within a square. That's triangle. Okay? All right? And now, we have a rectangle. Okay? Now, anything can be activated as long as you know its point divisions. So where are the point divisions? Here. Right? Because this is the pyramid. Right? Everything that you draw is a pyramid. You just have to understand how to activate its pyramid, because everything through its activation is laser. So these line formations are lasers. Everything in the center is electronic interference, and that's how you communicate through its body centers, through the ego systems. And that's how you high-rise your brain systems, through the mind systems. But see how powerful that is? Now, this is going to cycle. This is going to turn. Rectangle is going to turn. Okay? All right? But remember, to activate it, always has to have an activation of its circle in its center. You can never activate anything because it has to be the center. And the center of a circle, of a cycle, is the atom. Okay? Then you open the plasma, plasmasium force system, you know. You can high-rise your divisions, okay, depending on your perceptions. So, cross-reference. Okay? It's getting ready to activate now. Okay? But I'm just showing you exactly what happens when you circulate and rotate, how everything is on communication line signals. So everything is rotating. The triangle, rectangle, square, and circle, going through its activation, through its geographical map system. And this is how it communicates with its matrix higher self, the galactic, and the higher self. Okay? Remember, it's very important to understand what these point divisions. Now, once you understand those point divisions, you can use another point divisions. Okay? So you got 4 divisional sets, 3.69. Okay? 3 within a center activation within a cycle. Okay, circulates, rotates, right? So you have 4-point divisions, right? You're definitely in a dimensional set. I'm going to activate this, okay? Now what you're going to see, this is going to be interesting. This is understanding communication of ripples. A ripple of a line formation is a vibrational signal. Now, you have to understand everything through line formation can change its information. Remember saying like this, right? It's changing frequencies. Okay, so I'm going to activate it. So I'm going to uprise your frequency levels, but it's going to change its information. Okay, which is fascinating stuff because it's confusing to the mind system once you understand how to use everything through its location systems. Okay. Okay, it's activated now. So everybody should be feeling that. They should be feeling ripples of their body. It's like water. It's going like this. You know, the vibrations are changing its signals. It's activating different motions of signals. So one vibration is communicating, but the other vibration, you know, is going up and down. So one is line signal through a vibration signal through a behavioral system of its signals, and the other vibration is going like this. Okay? You have to understand vibrations and its intelligence, okay? Plus the line formations through its point centers. Okay. So basically, how does everybody feel? What is everybody feeling right now? Yeah, everything is confusing. It's supposed to be, right? You know? And this is in the 5th dimension, right? Because it's 4 divisional lines through activation of its center, which is 5. Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. You have to understand pyramids. You have to understand how they activate. You have to understand how they work. That's why it's very important that everybody gets into the pyramid. You have to create your own pyramid through its center. That's what becomes an activation center, okay? Through its communication of its line signal. Then you use your chakra formations, activate through its communication through the higher self, the galactic and the matrix, okay? Charge your mechanisms of its planet system. Your planet system is now communicating with its pyramid system, okay? So you have full rotation, okay? And you're upgrading your systems through its information, okay? That's exactly what it is. So, but you know, what I show you is amazing because it upgrades your systems every single time and you're getting more information on it, right? It's powerful stuff once you know how to use your activations of your point centers and your dimensional sets. So, but it's great to know these things, you know, it really is. It really does help you a lot. So I'm going to do these from time to time so you guys get a better understanding of what's going on with your body and ecosystem. So, questions and comments now. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, so I'm sure everybody's got questions. Okay, so hi to everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. So we got into the shapes. They do spin. You know exactly what's going on. Helping out Laura helps her out a lot. This is going to help people too, to the new faces and everybody that's coming on my channel. Okay, because you have to understand illustrations because everything is a diagram through its systems. We use nothing but electronic boards and blueprints. And that's how we formulate through its line system of its computer graphing medical system, okay? Because the medical system through the illustration of its point system is the healing centers. And that's where it becomes in the matrix core of its healing centers, okay? So, yeah, always clockwise, Laura, always, always. That's a good question, okay? Because if you do an introvert, you're reversing the shape. You're reversing the activation. Your dimensional set. If you know your body system through the energy fields, you can go through another activation, and that will plasma you back into another dimension. So it's back forcing your wind cycles. Okay, see, that's why you got to go clockwise and not counterclockwise. So you don't want to do that. Yeah, so Andrew's in the matrix sun because of what I drew. And that's how powerful it is once you understand how the mind and the brain works through its colorations and how everything's activated through the energy hydraulic systems. I see where you can put a rectangle. Yeah, I'm just showing you what you can do with shapes within its center of its activation. So, a lot of questions, huh? Does this one not have plasma? Everything has to have plasma. Plasma is a higher line defense to a security defense. That's understanding more point and divisional levels. The higher you go through its vibration, the higher you understand its radio signal through its line signal. So Ash, yes, everything has a plasma or plasmesium force systems. Okay, then you get into the helix, and then you get into the hydrogen. Okay. Yeah, well, whatever you watched, there's a lot of people that are just getting on now. You can watch it back. What I feel the sensation from the activation, I'm still mastering my chakra system for my third eye opening. Yeah, you will definitely find that sensation, Laura. It's on its continuous force, but you have to understand everything I give you through illustration of shapes. You get a better understanding how your chakra formation is shaped through its point centers. Hey, Michael, how you doing? So yeah, mastering your chakra formations. That's what I'm saying. Once you master your chakra formations, you can do anything through a point center of a line signal to anything of its location of its dimensional signal. Okay? So basically, I can draw any dimension. I can draw a dimension up to the 300th dimension, 500th dimension, 1000th dimension. I'll get into that later and show you how powerful it can be. Okay? But you have to be at that balance. You have to understand its location. You have to understand its information. Okay? Remember I was telling you in my last video how I was doing a description of a line formation of a structure, of a wall graphing, or a ground formation of a shade. Shade is intelligence. Light is intelligence. Dark is intelligence. Lines are intelligence. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? That's exactly what it is. Everything through lines, information, is intelligence. So, yeah, so I explained that to you already, Ash, and the whole thing with the plasma. Yeah, squares, cool, yeah. That's a good question, Ash. Do you choose where the shapes go? Through the mind and the telekinesis, you already know how to do your shapes, right? But you have to understand your body system, okay? Because now you're understanding what's going on. If something or someone or object or anything of its plasma system or anything through its activation of its star system is communicating with you, you have to understand its shape. And that's where you get into the illustration. So you have to understand your energy, Laura. If you understand the energy of its information, then you can draw its shape, okay? Because as soon as you drop that shape and you understand its energy, its intelligence, then you can activate it through its space, okay? So, but like I said, I love doing illustrations, because this is going to help you out more with your body systems. This is going to help you out with your vibrational signals. This is going to help you out with your energy fields. Okay. Now, the thing is too, I've done drawings for you through point and dimensional sets through line signals. I haven't done any singularity. We haven't got into numbers, and we haven't got into letters. Okay. These things are very powerful. Plus, you can activate it when you put an energy field around it, and that will high rise your divisions of upgrades. And that's full of information. So the more complicated of the shape, the more information you get through its energy cycles, through its intelligence. Okay, we'll get into that later, but right now we really have to understand what's going on, because you want to start off with understanding of what's going on with the 1 divisional to the 2-dimensional, 3, 4, and 5. Understand everything through its line to a T. Okay? Because like I said, everything through that line, through space, is numbers. Okay? Numbers. Remember I was telling you about the lining graph and the alignments, everything in its center is the matrix grid systems, and has different location systems? That's exactly what it is. That's how shapes, letters, and numbers are activated through space of communications. So, but it's very, very powerful stuff when you high rise your divisionals to your body systems. It's all about understanding activation of electronic interference. Okay? You know, basically what it is understand communication. It's not just shapes, but body systems too. You get into bodies and how you can rotate bodies, how you control the mind and brainwave systems. If I do this, okay, if I do this, your body's rotating right now. So it feels like it's going through a spin cycle of a system. Okay, so I do that, your body is spinning right now. That's what's happening to your body. You feel the energy because it's energy of information. So it's using its calculations and understanding its mass of its DNA structures, because everybody's built through a different DNA, right? Everybody has different weight mass, and that's where it comes into the mass of volumes, right? So me doing this, I'm changing your body system, or circulation rotation, right? So that's what everybody's feeling right now. It's just understanding how to use the mind and the telekinesis of its system. And then you get into the body system, because everything is controlling, right? Once you know how to control dimensional sets of point systems, you can get into anything. And that's how you formulate it, through its perceptions. So, is everybody okay? I always ask that. So when I close my eyes and I see the triangles and diamonds, they are intelligent and I can activate them? Yes, Ash, as long as you understand its balance and its location. If you understand its divisions and you understand its numbers, okay? If you understand its numbers and the line formation of its point centers, then you can activate it. It gets tricky the more you put shape on shape, okay? It's all about understanding geometrics of geometry, okay? So, and basically, you know, when you high rise to any kind of balance through communication, because I am the matrix core of its grids and power grids, right? I can communicate with any line division of point centers because I know its activation, I know its locations, right? So understanding everything through its balance, you can activate anything. Anything that's intelligent, you know? So, but see, the thing is, Ash, you don't have to close your eyes. One example is pretty fascinating, is that I was sitting in a chair yesterday, and when you communicate with the matrix sun completely and fully through partnership, it's amazing what they give to you through information. I was just sitting there, and there was this big, humongous star system came at me, and it's like 3D. I see everything, right? Not just to feel it. But the circles were going in through its rotation, so the actual room itself was cycling its wind cycles, and it's going like this. I was seeing its wind surfing scene of its electronic interference is extremely powerful. I was standing in the center, okay? And the matrix sun was communicating with its cycles of its energy fields. Extremely, extremely powerful when you see these things. My eyes were open. They don't have to be closed. That's how powerful you can be. You can meditate without your eyes closed. Okay? We'll get into that later, but you have to understand its divisional sets through its point centers before you get into anything through higher divisional levels of dimension sets. But I'm just showing you amazing things that can go on when you high rise to your balance. But you have to understand your planet system. You have to understand its activation systems. You have to understand everything through its frequency levels. Okay? So it's so important to know these things. It really is. And that's how you formulate through the mastery of its chakra formations. Yeah. Yeah. So does anybody have any more questions? Stowe, how you doing? Oh, you're at work? That's okay. You can watch back whatever you missed. We're just getting into illustrations. Yeah, it's great. But I really think everybody should start drawing. If you can't draw, if you can at least do a stick draw of a person, a circle, line divide, cross, two lower of angles, triangle, angular base, you got a person, right? You just have to understand how everything is activated. Try do a line, okay? I'll show you. Let's get into show you here. I love drawing. I'm just going to show you. All right. So basically, that's a line, right? Everybody knows how to do a line. Okay? This is a cross, right? This is how everybody should start off. This is a circle. Point sets. Now, see how it's coming together? Last but not least, you activate it, but you don't have to activate it yet, but you can line divide it through subdividing. Okay? See what's happening? All right? Now you could complicate the situation and do a triangle. Another point. Remember, everything has to be point division. Now this is getting really complicated, isn't it? Let's see how powerful you can be when you do these things. All right, I'm just having so much fun here. You see how it's creating? You understand what's going on right now? Complicated, isn't it? Right? Your chakra formations are activating on so many different cycles of circles. That's why it's very important to understand every communication line through its graphing of its continuous force, through its grounding. You work your way up, all the way up to 7 divisional lines of chakra formations to your 12. Okay? So I can make this a square. Okay? All right? I can add another circle. Okay? It's not activated yet. Okay? And basically, I will add another triangle. But see what happens when you line divide everything through its point dimensional sets, and it gets more tricky and tricky. I'm just showing you amazing things that you can do. So practice makes perfect. This is really complicated, okay? This is way beyond anything, but I'm just showing you it's not in the matrix until it's colored. Okay? It has to be colored because it all communicates through its matrix core system. Okay. So basically, if you color it in, then you know it's in the matrix core center, right? So you cross-reference. It's getting ready to activate now. Okay. This is very tricky, eh? Now I could subdivide it, line divide it. Now it kind of looks, but see how it all comes together? See how complicated it is? It's trickery to the mind, but it's supposed to confuse the mind system. It's like an abstract drawing. What is it? What is he drawing? Right? Okay. This is where it gets really complicated. I'm just showing you. How many point divisions are there? There's so many, isn't there? Right? Each point system is in a different dimensional set of a line signal. Everything through its line is a communication signal. Everything through its center is an activation signal. Okay? Everything through its shape is an anomaly system of a cycle. Okay? So, say there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 there. Wow. 20 divisional lines through activations. And once you color it in, it's in the matrix. So, but I'm just showing you how powerful it is to go through these things, you know? It's incredible force. What do I do with the chakras formations? Mask the line formations. Mask the information of its communication. Try to find your balance. Use your breathing mechanisms. Astella. Master each chakra formation. 1 to 3. Work your way up to the solar. That's what you need to do. What is the purpose of the result received when we do the line dividing? Is it to increase one's intelligence? Yes, it is. Because everything it formulates in shapes, Anna. Everything is line divided through its matrix grid systems. Everything is made out of shapes, letters, and numbers. Your planet system is a shape. You have to understand your divisions. You have to understand your point divisions, because that's what that's what your planet system is. It's one big shape. That's where it gets tricky, because now you're communicating through a higher level of its force system, right? So, but you know, there's a lot to work on, and you know, time is everything, and you know, you'll get better in time, as far as what you need to do and how to go through these things through your body and ego systems. So that's why it's very important to understand what's going on, Anna, with line dividing. Okay? Because you can't communicate with anything in space if you don't understand its point divisions of your dimensional sets. You can't communicate with anything, because everything in space is shapes. Yeah, you need to discover your planet shape. That's exactly what it is. That's what everybody needs to do. That's why I do these illustrations, right? That information will be given to you, okay, on a time sequence. But you have to master your chakra formations. You have to work up to your 7 divisionals to your 12. Okay? You have to locate on every upgrading system. Very, very important to know these things. So. Well, you have to understand its energy of information is intelligence, right? I've given you enough drawings of what's going on, but yeah, meditation, yeah. This is where you really have to pay attention with your audio skills and its communication wave and signals, all right? Because that's how you connect in all ways and forms, through intelligence signals. That's how you high rise your electronic interference, you know? So, and then we get into the frequencies, but we can't get into the frequencies yet because you still have to figure out what's going on with your line formations and how everything is put together through its point systems. Well, that's a good question, Anna. How do you know I've mastered everything? I'm giving you information from the matrix. So obviously I'm mastering something, right? I'm giving back information. So energy, information, intelligence, 3 things that you have to know. Everybody has to know these things. Energy, information, intelligence, right? Vibration, okay? Your heart's condition, okay? Your body system, your ego system, your brain waving, mind, intellect, continuous force systems. That's what I'm saying. That it's all about mastering, you know? You're seeing all these things, but you're not understanding why. And everything you see in space is shapes. Everything. And that's how everything is created through its DNA structure. Okay? Everything through its center is created through its lines. You know? You're an outer graphing system through a computer graphing system, okay, of a body system. Okay? But basically, you see the lines, but I see electronic interference. So I see the glowing of the DNA structure of a person. But when you understand that you see shapes, once you understand pixelization, then you understand point divisions. Okay, because everything is communication. All these shapes are different in your body systems. They're pixels, little pixels. And everything is activated through its atom. Everything connects. Your biochemicals of atoms, billions and billions of atoms inside the body system. And that's how you communicate with its line formations, its body system, and everything that modifies through its line divisions of its point centers to its dimensional sets. I know, it's getting complicated, but it has to get complicated. I have to keep moving forward. So that's why I gave you basic ideas of what's going on with its lines. You start off with the 1, you work with the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5th dimension. Okay? You understand your line divisions of your point centers, activation within the center. Okay? Try the basics. Try to understand what is a line, what is a subdivide, how does it calculate, right? I mean, you can draw small, you can draw big, it doesn't matter. Everything can be activated as long as you know its location, because everything is set in a different dimension, right? So, Mando, how you doing? I saw your previous video on Tai Chi. How can this uprise your frequency? Oh, that's getting communication with air waving patterns of the water's continuum, ground formations, electronic interference, upgrading your body systems through its circulation, rotation of its cycle circles, and everything through its century of its systems. It's getting connected with your inner and outer self of its body system and yin and yang. That's what Tai Chi does. It's the formulation of movements. Right? It's getting in touch with your body system. Everything is communication. Everything. It has to be. Right? And that's how we high rise. That's why I keep giving you information. So, all beliefs obsolete. Science causes blocks for the input of new knowledge from you. That's what I'm saying. Because I live in the matrix, Anna. That's why it's complex, it's complicated, but I'm giving you basic diagrams and illustrations and how to follow these things, right? But you have to understand its energy of its information is intelligence, right?
like you guys are high rising through the galactic, but you're getting confused now because you don't understand line division. You don't understand point sections of systems. You don't understand divisional sets of dimension symbols. No, dimension symbols are all created through letters and numbers. But understanding just what's going on, you know, I mean, everything is a reaction to an action through your body system. Right? So, but the problem is I just keep getting more intelligent. I keep getting smarter and smarter every day. So, and there's reasons for that. And I'll say that again and again and again, right? I will keep doing reviews for you in every video. That should help you out with your frequency levels. That should help with your brain waving system. But you have to understand the mind, you have to understand the brain and how it is calculated through its line sequences and how everything formulates through its activation systems. So, hope you understand why we are having issues. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's the problem, right? But that's why I'm giving you these illustrations, how it gets complicated, right? I'm just showing you what goes on with space and its communication. No, it's not your fault. You're just learning. It's just some things are difficult more than others. That's all. But you have the basic understanding, right? So, practice makes perfect, you know? When you go through any kind of martial art class, you're upgrading your levels of belts, right? You're going from white to yellow, okay, to green, to blue, to red, to black. You know, that's upgrading your system. That's information that's given to you. You're getting new chakra formations through the body center, or you're getting new formations that are going through its connection of its force, where you get into hand formations, where you get into kicking, right? Everything is balanced. Everything is frequencies of balance. I know it's hard to understand, but I think what it is that you really have to know these things through mastery. Master the yin and the yang. It's very extremely hard to do. But you can high rise to your balance and know this information and know exactly how to activate it through its illustrations of its shapes. Right? That's why I give you these illustrations. So, but you know, life itself with its system is complicated. You know? Nothing comes easy. Right? Then you get huge gratification once you master something. You feel good inside. You say, wow, I did this. This is amazing. I went from white to black in a year. You know, an average person between 1 to 2, 3 years to get a black belt, depending on their brain cycles and how they're connected through their mind frequencies or their mind centers. It's understanding the information. It's understanding the communication and paying attention. Really, really listening through its communication. Yeah, no, that's fine. You don't have to take martial arts. I'm just showing you an example how you go through mastery. Okay, that's why, you know, drawing out these shapes is going to give you a better idea on how you communicate with your chakra formations. So, but everybody's going to get there, you know. That's the beautiful thing. But you're always going to ask questions. So. Plus, I think it's easier for me to draw it out. It's more complicated through the mind, because through the mind I talk too fast. So, like I said, some things could be obsolete, some things could be really confusing, and whoa, this is way too much. I can't handle it. What do I do? Rebalance, reanalyze, reconstruct, readvise, formalize, focus, bring back your awareness. See, everything that you see can be fixed. It's just understanding how to put it together, right? Yeah, the illustrations are extremely helpful, and that's why I keep giving them out, right? Because you want to understand the mind and the brain that I live in. So that's why I do all the illustrations. It's much easier to see it in pictures, right? So, but anyway, try to work on that. Okay. I'm going to top out for now. Questions or comments are great. Anything you missed, you can watch back. It's very important that you get a basic understanding of what's going on through its line divisions and everything through its calculation modifications, its mass, everything through its volumes, everything that's going on through space, its continuum, its body systems, its ego systems, everything that's going through its activation of its shape systems. Adios, everybody.